Mankind have been shaving for thousands and thousands of years. We started with rocks, and now we're using some of the sharpest tools we ever created. Before I start talking about the history of shaving, let's take a look into the reason why we shave. In nature, hair is something that has both good and bad features. While it insulates the body from the cold, it also provides a haven of parasites such as fleas and lice, which often carry diseases. So in a way, it can be said if we don't need the hair for environmental protection, then sometimes it is better off without it. Hair isn't a necessity for humans. We're able to modify our environment. We can make fires, we can make shelters, and we can make clothes. This is also true and proven because as time passed, natural selection began to remove our body hair once it wasn't needed for protection and warmth. With hair loss meaning fewer parasites, it was an obvious signal for health and even attractiveness. That it makes sense for males to choose females who aren't hairy and females to choose males who aren't hairy too. The idea is that you want to choose a mate that isn't carrying diseases that are brought on by parasites. Even today, shaving for this reason seems to be true, as surveys say that 83% of women prefer to have clean-shaved men and 73% of men prefer women to have shaven smooth legs. So how did shaving begin? The first razors created about 30,000 years ago probably looked something like a long flat-shaped sharpened rock. Around 4000 BCE, mankind started building their razors from copper. Downside was that copper is a soft metal, so after a while the blade would bend and shaving would be hard and painful. The next step up from this was when tempering was discovered in 1200 BC. It was discovered by heating iron and cooling it rapidly, it causes the metal to become very hard. By heating steel till it becomes cherry red and cooling it off rapidly by quenching it, changes in the atomic structure causes it to become much stronger. In 1847, William Henson created the first ever T-shaped shaver. With this breakthrough, people were able to shave by themselves. However, downside to the product was that the shaver needs replacing every so often, as the blades become less sharp over time. The problem was quickly solved when King Gillette in 1903 who thought of the idea of having disposable and replaceable razor blades. This idea was taken while he was working in a bottle factory where disposable bottle caps were produced. The next type of shaver produced was by the soldier in the World War named Schick. By seeing through the idea of guns with automatic self-loading bullets, he thought of the idea of having shavers with self-loading blades. Over time, Gillette and Schick have now become the biggest brands in the shaving industry. And being competitive, they have created many new breakthroughs such as having 3 razor blades in a shave or even 4. Razor blades that we now shave with are one of the sharpest tools an average person would encounter. The extreme edge of a razor blade can be less than 300 angstroms thick. That is 30,000th of the depth of a piece of paper.